Team guy, how you living? The kid, I'm back with another reaction video. The video I'm gonna be right to is from watchculture.com, and this is the ups and downs of Elimination Chamber. I heard it was up. I heard it was okay. Let me get these. Let me see what these guys feel, because chances are probably gonna say something funny about it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this on all your social medias. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello, what culture people? It's me, Simon Miller, as I stand here today with my hood up on the last day of National Hood Day, and go watch the videos from last week if you don't know what National Hood Day is all about. We have just seen the Elimination Chamber 2018, and it's one of those events where we're all like, I wonder who's going to win the Elimination Chamber? Who could possibly come out on top? Who on earth could be the victor? You already know the answer. I'll save it until we get there later, but if you don't know, you haven't been watching wrestling. But enough of that, because you are watching Ups and Downs, the show where we go through other shows and we give the good bits an up and we give the bad bits a down. It's just one big review. I'm in charge. I'm at the steering wheel. I'm flying the fighter jet. Let's Ups and Downs. But there's two reasons to mention the pre-show, so we're going to mention both of those right now, and they're both going to get an up. Because one, we did have Gallows and Anderson take on the Miz Taraj, and exactly what you'd expect a pre-show match to be. And of course, Gallows and Anderson won, and it was fine. But also, apparently, my son was in the crowd because look, there was a sign that said Simon Miller is my dad. And that's even more incredible because I don't have any kids, but that just goes to show how powerful my loins are. I'm popping out kids, even though I don't know I'm popping out kids. But on a more serious note, I do want to thank whoever did bring that sign to a WWE event, because it blows my mind. It almost, not literally blows my mind, but it genuinely blows my mind because, you know, you're bringing a sign to a WWE show with my name on it. It humbles me, makes me feel pretty good inside. So thank you very much. I always appreciate it. Of course, get to that. And then that, of course, did bring us to the start of the pay-per-view proper, and we kicked things off with the Women's Elimination Chamber. Now, it was a bit slow, and it did plod a little bit. Let's get it up. The real problem was that it went about 30 minutes, but it didn't really do enough to make those 30 minutes justified. So, at some points, I sat there going, come on, let's get things going. However, it did have some cool spots, such as Mickie James jumping off one of the pods onto Sonya Deville, so that was cool. So yeah, it was decent all round. And the eliminations went as followed. Sasha Banks tapped out Mandy Rose. James pinned Deville after that cool jump off the Elimination Chamber. Then Bayley got rid of James with the Bayley to belly. Bliss then rolled up Bayley to get rid of her. And finally, Sasha Banks got bammed with a DDT. Alexa Bliss retains her title. And this is good because it now means our champion does have some real weight behind her. She went into that match as the title holder, and she left as the title holder as well. Plus, she cut a good promo afterwards where she told the crowd, your dreams are never going to come true. But Alexa, what if their dreams are actually that they wanted to see you win in the Elimination Chamber? Then you have just made their dreams come true. Think about that, did you? Braun Strowman then did an interview where he said that he was going to win his own Elimination Chamber later and then go on to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And this is going to get down just because really it was a bit pointless. Another up though is surprisingly the match between Titus Worldwide and The Bar was actually pretty good. Let's get up. I mean, it was just there in the sense it didn't get much heat and existed mainly just to get us through the evening, but it was fun to watch. I enjoyed myself, and The Bar did retain their titles after they hit a double team white noise. And that was that. Imagine Titus O'Neil and Apollo now vanish back into the darkness or whatever they do when they're not on TV. But hey, at least in the context of this, it made me happy. And next was Asuka versus Nia Jax. It was a match I both hated and enjoyed. So I don't really know what to do, but for now I'll give it an up. Asuka did indeed win, and that was the right thing to do. However, throughout the whole thing, Nia Jax kicked the absolute shit out of her, and that did nothing for Asuka's mystique. I think Asuka could have held her own a little bit, so in that sense, it was a down. Even after Asuka did surprise her with a cradle to win the damn thing, Nia Jax post-match continued to whip her ass, including picking Asuka up and just throwing her through the barricade. I just think we could have balanced this a little bit better as opposed to taking the undefeated one and burying her into the ground. I don't think we needed to do that. That was a little bit much, although it was cool that we made Nia Jax look so strong. Just the bounces out, the bounces out, the bounces out the window, in the garden, or whatever happens to be outside your house. We then did get a promo by Alexa Bliss, who ragged on Asuka. But now we'll see how we get to WrestleMania. Maybe it's a three-way, maybe Asuka goes over to SmackDown, maybe it's Bliss versus Jax. We'll find out soon. And a down for the Roman Reigns promo, because at this point it became very clear that WWE had only selected their chosen ones to cut promos. That is stupid down. And it's a down for Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy, because here the crowd did indeed take over the damn thing and basically sent a message to management that said, we don't care about either of these two guys, and that is not good. for the down. They chanted Rusev Day, which of course is great, and we should always chant Rusev Day. However, maybe sometimes we need to pick our spots a bit, and then they threw a beach ball around, and nobody really cared about what was happening in that damn ring. Bray Wyatt did indeed lose after he got smashed by a twist of fate courtesy of Matt Hardy, so I guess this program continues. But this made me sad. I don't like to see the woken one treated this way. And then it was time for Ronda Rousey to sign a WWE contract. You know what? I thought this was good. The basic premise was that Triple H wanted to put her over as if she was the biggest star that WWE had ever signed. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. This is exactly the angle and exactly the direction WWE should have taken, so it was good that they did. And that made Ronda happy, and she spoke as such, and the crowd were mostly behind her here, so that also added to everything. Then Kurt Angle was like, no, I've seen enough of this. I'm interjecting. So yeah, after hearing this big loving, Angle got on the microphone and said, well, you know what? After WrestleMania 21, he meant 31, and he did correct himself. All he'd heard from Triple H is him ragging on Ronda Rousey and saying that he wanted to own this woman and make her pay for what she did. They wanted revenge, and of course Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were all like, hey, we didn't say that. Calm down, Kurt Angle. You've got the flu and you're delirious. But eventually, Ronda had heard enough and clearly believed the former Olympian, and she grabbed Triple H and she slammed him through a table. That was good. Then Stephanie got all mad at Ronda because she'd thrown her husband through a table, so she slapped her. That was stupid, wasn't it, Steph? Ronda gave her that awesome, oh, I'm so mad stare, which made McMahon bailed out of the ring, and all this was great. All of this was great. We have now set up the WrestleMania match, and I presume it's going to be Kurt Angle versus Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and it all happened within like a 10-15 minute segment. It ticked all the boxes. It did what it had to do. Well done, WWE. You're proving that when you want to do something right, you can smash it out the park into the trees. And I don't know what's after trees. Sky, sun, clouds. Don't know what I'm talking about. Move on. And I will say that WWE have covered themselves as well, because if you do get The Rock and you want him to be in this tag match, hey, he's a bigger star than Kurt Angle, so you can still figure that out. If you can't, Angle can step in. Just worked well. It just worked well. All praise to WWE for doing something well. Which brings us to the main event in the men's elimination chamber, and again I'm torn. However, after going through my feelings, I am indeed going to give it up. The problem was that everybody involved here had two direct agendas, and those two direct agendas kept contrasting each other, because clearly the whole point of this match was we've got to get Roman Reigns over, but we also got to get Braun Strowman over. And if you're doing that, eventually something's got to give, so eventually something gave, and it was stupid. The answer to keep both of them strong was to have Braun Strowman eliminate everybody else in the match, and I literally mean everyone. The Miz, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, John Cena and Elias all got pinned thanks to Braun Strowman. However, what happened after that? Well, he got hit by 2 spears by Roman Reigns. That was it. Roman Reigns beat him clean. So we spent a whole match building up Braun Strowman and then threw that out the door again. Lots of throwing references in this video so that Roman Reigns could have his moment, and he's now going on to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. Strowman is just like one big sap. Of course, once again, we had our agendas. So after this, Braun Strowman got back in the damn ring, and he gave Roman Reigns 2 power slams. So when the show went off air, he was standing tall. Talk about just a catalogue of madness. Now, sure, on one hand, you can say this made sense, but on the other, we basically jobbed out 5 other guys, including John Cena, who has now been beaten on TV about 127 times since last November, and all of a sudden, in a few weeks when they booked the match with The Undertaker, I'm meant to care, but how can I care? Because slowly you've been chipping away at John Cena's legs and making him look like less of a deal than he was. That don't make no sense, brother. But don't get me wrong, and I just ragged on all this. It was a very fun Elimination Chamber match. It was a very fun main event. We just throw a load of dudes under the bus. A load of dudes. That came out weird, but we did. We throw a load of dudes under the bus. We probably could once again balance this better, but we didn't. Yeah, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 34. We all know that. Probably Braun Strowman versus The Miz. Don't know if I won that, but we'll find out. John Cena versus The Undertaker. And as for Elias, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and everybody else, I have absolutely no idea. And then the credits roll, meaning it was the end of the Elimination Chamber, and it was a bit of a weird show. I mean, we built to WrestleMania, which is what we should do, and the Ronda Rousey stuff was good, but ultimately, was there anything in there? Anything concrete? Anything we could grab onto and ride into the sunset? I don't think there was. Also, I realised I had a few buzzwords this video, and I've used them over and over again, but that's what happens when you start for pay-per-views. The brain gets a bit tired. Let us move forward with this week and into a new planet of love. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about the Elimination Chamber 2018. Like, share, and subscribe. head over to whatculture.com and read about the Elimination Chamber. A load of articles there and stuff to do. And follow What Culture on Twitter at What Culture WWE. My name is Simon from...
Yeah, that was pretty much the recap of the Elimination Chamber. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this on all social media. Every season, grind season, let's get it.